Welcome to Star Citizen and the ship's guide to the Anvil F-8C Lightning, one of the most powerful fighters in the game. In this guide, we show you all the technical data and informations about the Lightning and what you can do with it. And of course, you can find also a detailed showcase of the F-8A, the military version, here on the channel. One of the biggest, we call it, features of the F-8C Lightning is that you can't just buy it and it doesn't show up in normal sales. But the Gold and Platinum Ticket Challenge was introduced here in 2023, where you can not only test the Lightning for free for just 24 hours with a found golden ticket, but it also is unlocked for you in the shop. With a Platinum ticket that you can get from a CIG employee, you can even get a special version for free. And of course, you can also find the dedicated guide on the Golden Ticket event here on the channel. All four available F-8C Lightning versions are technically identical, only the optics can be different. The F-8C is classified as a heavy fighter in size 2. In the standard configuration, the energy supply is secured by the military Maelstrom, which offers sufficient performance for any upgrades following. As a quantum drive, we get a civil expedition version, where we recommend an upgrade later. Also military and quite sufficient are the two polar coolers. But we recommend exchanging the two stealth shields as soon as possible, as these offer relatively weak values. And in the chapter of the recommended loadouts, you will find, of course, your recommendation for the F-8C Lightning in different use cases. With 8 weapon hardpoints, the Lightning plays in the highest league of possible damage outputs in the heavy fighter range, whereby the standard armament with a combination of laser repeaters and ballistic cannons is already sufficient for most PvE purposes and promises a good damage output. In addition, the Lightning can respond to 8 size 2 missiles. So the standard Lightning already comes to 2871 DPS and 810 alpha damage and almost 20,000 missile damage. And this already puts the standard F-8C, like most other heavy fighters, in the shadows and causes a good third more possible damage. But without access to a gun turret, interior space or other benefits. The F-8C is a pure heavy fighter. The interior is Anvil typical and offers 4 multifunction displays. These are placed centrally and we have a permanent good view of all information on the multifunction displays. In addition to the mandatory ejector seat for a fighter, the F-8C with 2 size 2 shields and a considerable number of hit points even offers more defensive qualities than the Vanguard series. Visually, the 4 variants differ, especially in the interior, since only the executive variant, which we see here, has a gold finish in the area of the instruments. Otherwise, the Gold, Platinum and the standard Wing Commander version differ only in the appearance. But let's take a look at the actual purpose of the F-8C Lightning, the fight. Because in combat, this heavy fighter feels most comfortable. And as of today, there is no opponent that the F-8C can't really get dangerous. Because, thanks to the enormous damage output, paired with the very good defensive qualities and the outstanding agility and speed of the F-8C Lightning as a heavy fighter, targets in the size of a hammerhead are also no danger. But also, small, light and fast targets like light fighters or racing ships are manageable for an F-8C. Because thanks to 36 degrees per second pitch, 33 degrees per second yaw and 176 degrees per second roll, the F-8C Lightning can really return to a good maneuverability. So you won't find an opponent in the current PvE area that can maneuver you so quickly. And also, some direct hits you can easily put away with your 2 shields. Here we have a front and back shield side for each shield generator. Available in the weapon area are 6 size 2 weapon hardpoints and 2 size 3. So we have in the standard configuration 4 size 2 laser repeaters as well 2 size 2 ballistic cannons and 2 size 3 ballistic cannons. And already with this standard armament, most battles in the PvE area can be easily fought. And if you can manage a moderate ammunition consumption of your ballistic guns, you have some time until you have to reload. Also in the standard configuration we can use 8 size 2 infrared Ignite 2 missiles. Here we can fire a maximum of 4 missiles at the same time. And to make a little excursus to the F-8A, the military version of the Lightning, it can use larger weapon hardpoints, and otherwise remains the same in terms of chassis and optics. However, with the military version, the weapon hardpoints grow by a level, which offers a significantly greater firepower than the civilian version. Also, the F8A, the military version, will also play a significant role in the single-player expansion Squadron 42. In addition, it has already been announced several times that we can unlock a F8 Lightning via the single-player campaign later. But to get access to a F8C at the current time, there are two options. The first one is the way over the concierge levels. Because with a game revenue of $10,000 you unlock the F8C Lightning in the first version. Here you get the Lightning directly in your hangar with lifetime insurance, with the Wing Commander Concierge level. At another revenue of $5,000 with the Praetorian level, you get a second Lightning in the hangar, also with lifetime insurance. This is the Executive variant with gold decorations, also directly in your hangar with the Praetorian Concierge level. The second option is the way over the new gold ticket system, where you can find gold tickets to various events in the verse. You can find them, among other things, in the various loot containers, with defeated PvE opponents, or you get a gold ticket from a teammate. And with such a gold ticket in your luggage, you can go to one of the various rental consoles in the verse, for example in residential areas or at stations. And right at the terminal you will receive the confirmation that you will receive a F8C as a rental ship for 24 hours and at the same time an exclusion for the pledge store. And in addition you will receive the gold ticket Spectrum badge. And of course you can find all the details in the dedicated gold ticket guide, how to find the gold ticket and how to trigger it. The currently rarest variant, however, is the Platinum Edition. This you can only loot or keep it from CIG employees. At the last gold ticket event there was the possibility to defeat a CIG employee in battle, where a merciless mass slaughter was initiated. However, there was also individual reports about peaceful activities, for which helpful players were rewarded with a platinum ticket. But the different versions are all the same, except for the external optics or the standard paint. In combat, the civilian version, the F8C, offers enough firepower and endurance to cope with all PvE opponents in the verse. And not by far is the F8 Lightning the standard heavy fighter of the UEE Navy. And in addition, with an adapted loadout, with adapted weapons and components, you can get much more power and damage out of an F8C. Therefore, we take a detailed look at the different loadout combinations and differences, especially in terms of damage output. In the area of components, there are only a few areas that need optimization to get the most out of a Lightning. As a result, large opponents, such as a Carrack, only have a survival time of just under 45 seconds with a Correct loadout. As mentioned, the basic loadout in the area of weapons can already be worthwhile, although the mixture of a laser repeater setup with ballistic guns is already a good combination. And for comparison, we start with the standard loadout. We always have a standard Anvil Carrack on the side as a target. Also, for a better comparison of the different loadouts, we load up energy weapons every time before we fire a new. So we need about 1 minute and 33 seconds for the Carrack in the standard loadout. And of course, the energy settings as well as the component settings are left in the standard. We'll hear us again in about a minute with the next loadout configuration. Because this takes some time. The most damaging configuration option as expected is a full ballistic cannon loadout. With the 6 size 2 and 2 size 3 ballistic cannons, the Carrack still has a holdover time of just 49 seconds. But the ammunition reserves are completely emptied up to a quarter. So for the PvE use, only conditionally usable after we would have to reload after every third enemy. But the Lightning can show how much damage output is possible. But of course, we will give you some more loadout recommendations in the next chapter, especially for the PvE area on the way. And of course, we also carried out a fire test with the purely ballistic Gatlings. But a small spoiler, with this we will not kill the Carrack. But more on that in a moment. Because before, we take a look at the pendant in the energy area, so a complete setup of laser cannons. The time of 1 minute 65 is due to the fact that we fire all laser cannons at the same time, and this relatively large fire breaks occur in between. This time could of course be reduced again by separate firing one of the different weapon groups, as the shield regeneration is not so clear. But this would falsify the test times. The advantage of a pure energy setup is of course that we never have to reload, and we cannot run out of ammunition in combat. With a pure laser cannon setup, the damage values almost half at 1379 DPS. However, we have a very strong alpha damage of 960. In addition, all energy weapons have to share the capacitor energy, whereby we have a regeneration pool of 10,000 here with a filling rate of 3000. And since the weapon energy is evenly distributed to all weapons, we have almost 22 shots for the size 2 cannons and 20 for the size 3 ones. For the PvE area, we are already sufficient equipped with such a pure laser cannon setup to be able to switch off the largest targets. And at this point again the note, it is a pure PvE setup. For the PvP use, laser cannons are usually insufficient. But the staggered fire mode is also much more interesting for the real use, especially with a large number of laser cannons or laser weapons, after which they are not fired at the same time, but one after the other, and you have a significantly longer lasting damage. And you can simply change the fire mode with the standard allocation of the key B. Finally, let's take a look at the relatively commonly used loadout in the verse, namely a pure ballistic Gatling loadout for the F8C Lightning. With this, we increase our DPS value to 5472 at 307 alpha damage. Such a ballistic Gatling loadout is especially interesting for smaller targets or in the PvP area. But it is rather unsuitable for a hunt for large PvE targets. But let's get to our loadout recommendations. Basically, we recommend changing the shields to military ones, such as the FR76. Also an upgrade to the military quantum drive, such as the Beacon, it's timely. And in the area of weapons, a change to 6 size 2 laser cannons and 2 size 3 ballistic cannons. Alternatively, of course, a complete laser cannon setup can also be flown for the PvE area. A much more suitable change is the power plant to a GS400 and a Glacier cooler, as these have been better performance. So the focus of changes, in addition to the weapons, is therefore on first place the shields and second the quantum drive. Currently, the Anvil F8C Lightning offers the current maximum in the area of heavy fighters for just under $300, but only for owners of a gold ticket and for special sale times. Because the Lightning promises a complete package that represents the current end of the food chain, with a very good defensive, good agility and speed values and an enormous strong armament. But what do you think about the Anvil F8C Lightning? Let me know in the comments, Discord or the daily Twitch livestreams. I say goodbye until next time, see you soon and see you in the verse.